What's up, family and friends? Coming back at you with another review episode slash, hey, what the heck is this stuff? What we're going to be reviewing myself. Clifton hasn't tried this yet. Hey, everybody, this is Clifton, by the way.
Hi.
He is Bourbon Bytes. If you haven't heard of Bourbon Bytes, make sure you check out the channel. Awesome channel, a lot of reviews, good reviews. Also, it has a gaming twist to it. He has a lot of different things that comes along with his channel.
But nothing like this. Nothing like this, though.
Something like this. You never know what's going to be on his channel. I'll tell you that right now. Okay? But he hasn't tasted this yet, and I wanted to share this with my friend, with my buddy. So,
After we've been streaming for over 2 hours.
Yeah.
3 hours. I don't even know.
Okay. And you know, not to undercut this, we've had a couple of good whiskeys, and this is one of the ones that were curious. He was curious about, and that he wanted to try. And you know what? I thought, I've never done a review on this, so I wanted to make sure that we did a review together so that he can get first impressions for him, and you also get another perspective as well as mine, which is going to be somebody who's tasted it before but never did a review on it. So we are going to do the review together, two different perspectives, and also being able to tell, like, hey, what are you getting here as far as what you're getting in this bottle. It's a Woodford Reserve Baccarat edition. Now, MSRP is $2,000. Did I pay $2,000 for it? He's covering his face. But no, I did not pay for that. Anybody out there, I did not pay for that. Okay? I'm just letting you know that, you know, that's what it's going for right now as MSRP. And of course, on secondary, people go crazy over this stuff. I wanted him to taste this so that we can actually get an honest review, somebody tasting it. I don't care if he bashes it. He says anything he wants about it. That it doesn't matter, because you know what? This is going to be an honest review between the both of us. I've tasted it before. I enjoy it. Do I think it's worth $2,000? Hey, we'll let you know at the end of this. But at the same time, this is also a collaboration between Woodford Reserve Distillery and Brown-Forman Distillery. Okay, Brown-Forman, everybody knows Brown-Forman. We know what all the good stuff that he gives as far as flavor profile, the different things that you've tasted before, which come from the Brown-Forman Distillery. This right here, Woodford Baccarat, comes at a 90.4 proof. It is non-age stated, which really upsets me when I'm talking. For the price, they should be giving you more information. Okay, I'm not going to bash anybody for that. No. But at the same time, I'm going to say, hey, give us some more information, because we need to know what we're drinking. Okay, and I want to let you know, again, preface this, that we've had some pretty good pours prior to this.
Oh. Yeah, we've had a lot.
We've had some decent pours prior to this.
And so I will add to this as like someone that Woodford was my kind of gateway whiskey into getting into whiskey.
Same.
So like Woodford Reserve, just a standard release, was kind of like, oh, this whiskey has some flavors. And then coming on later, like revisiting Woodford, I've had some double oak.
Yeah, double oak. I've had it too. The double oak, for me, it wasn't that great. And
that's what I was trying to find a way to say that. Double oak can be really good, and double oak can also be like mediocre. But I'm very, very excited to try this, and thank you, Joe, for sharing this. Like I said, we're going to this drunk, y'all. We're doing a drunk review right now. We've had some great pours, but I've been really curious about this bottle, and I'm so thankful for you to share this with me. So
only with the bestest of friends. But this mash bill is at 72% corn. We also got 10% rye, and then we got 18% rye, and then 10% malted barley. This is finished in XO cognac casks. For I believe around 3 years in cognac casks, which is pretty crazy.
Pretty long, yeah.
Right. Pretty long, you know. But it doesn't give an NAS, which is weird. But it tells you how long that it's been finished in cognac casks. So, you know, that's, I guess, one of the good things for this bottle. We know that this bottle is also not the juice inside, but the bottle itself is made in France, I think that's where a lot of that glass and the price point and all that other stuff that comes along with it comes with. But hey, we don't really taste the glass. We drink what's inside. And I was reading a little bit up on it, and it is saying that it is the standard. The standard. Doesn't that confuse you a little bit?
Yeah.
It's the standard.
Woodford.
Yeah, Woodford Reserve that they give to us in other really cheaper bottles, But this is also again finished in cognac cask and all this other stuff. And then you got the glass, you got all this stuff. You got the history of Woodford Reserve. You got the history of Brown-Forman, and then they put in this glass, and here we are reviewing it with a, so.
I'm really excited to try it. I don't want to be judgmental because, again, Woodford is for the beginner into whiskey. Woodford's great. It was my entry, and like I said earlier, but $2,000. Joe, what are you doing?
I didn't pay that much for it, everybody. Just so you know. But we are going to taste it. We're going to go ahead and nose it for you. We're going to give our opinions of it. Of course, I've already nosed it. Full disclosure, he has not
nosed it or tasted
I tried to get him to nose it.
Nope.
And
I'm like,
smell
record
it
this.
He said,
record this.
Hit record, and I'll do whatever
it.
we need to do. This is what we're doing right now. This is unedited. Just so you know, this is unedited information so that you get a perspective from two different, one, palates. Two, you get a perspective of somebody who hasn't tasted it to somebody who has tasted it. So I don't mind if he says it's the worst thing he's ever tasted. I don't know if he's going to say that.
We'll see.
We'll see. But at the same time, it's going to be two different perspectives. Somebody who's tasted, somebody who has not. So we're going to go ahead and nose it. Appreciate everybody who has subscribed to the channel. Make sure Bourbon Bytes, check him out. Subscribe. Subscribe, of course, to my channel if you haven't, or whatever. It's up to you. But I love you guys anyways. I care. I thank you. And we're going to go ahead and nose this thing before we ruin our reputations. Because, hey, we love you guys.
Yeah. And also, thank you, Joe, for inviting me to be a part of this. I wasn't expecting this. Like I said, we did a live stream for 2.5 hours before this. So I'm a little drunk. But I do know that, I know where this is coming from, and I know this is a special bottle, and I'm really willing to give it a chance.
Hey, that's all that matters, and that's all that people are going to be expecting is you to give it a chance.
We'll see how it goes.
All right.
Let's give it a nose.
Brother.
Cheers.
Brother. We're gonna nose it for you all. It's a really sweet. You could smell the sweetness of that cognac, the cognac casks that are coming through.
We had another whiskey earlier tonight that was cognac cask, and this is way more apparent.
Yeah, definitely.
Smells great. It really does smell really good.
It's good, but we won't get to that point. Is it MSRP good? We won't get to that point yet.
But also, do I have that perspective? Have I ever bought a $2,000 bottle whiskey? No. The most I've ever spent was less than $300. So we'll see.
We'll see. I don't know.
It smells really good.
What are you getting on the nose, though?
Sweet.
Definitely sweet.
Less Woodford than any other Woodford I've ever gotten.
I ain't getting no char or no wood essence from it.
There's a sweetness, a tartness,
yeah.
It's a cognac cask, I think.
Yeah, that
you said is 3. We believe it's 3 years.
3 years. And correct us in the comments if it's less than 3 years. But what I believe I read so far is that it's finished 3 years in cognac cask.
It smells really good. I'm excited for this.
Man, we get the sweetness. You definitely get that corn in there. I don't get too much rye. Maybe that's why it's only at 10% rye.
But it's less.
Actually, 18% rye. I keep messing it up. I apologize. We keep getting that rye at 18%, but I don't get. But hey, it ain't rye forward.
It's also less of the oak for it, which you mentioned earlier. It's We don't know the age. It's not age stated. So, like... Sweet, corn
really
forward.
Sweet. I do get the vanilla. I do get some...
It doesn't smell young, I'll say that.
Yeah.
I've had younger whiskeys that smell young. This doesn't have that. It does have the corn sweetness, I think.
Definitely.
I'm so excited to try this.
You know what? Let's just try, it. Yeah.
Hey,
cheers.
cheers.
Cheers,
y'all.
Cheers, everybody. Okay. We've had, like, some higher proof whiskeys throughout the night.
Mm-hmm.
We've had... Do you not get the spice, some of the spice still on the tongue? I'm not talking about on the back end. I'm getting some sweetness, some corn, definitely a lot of corn on there. But that rice spice is still hitting a little bit. At a 90 proof, I don't know if I've tasted anything that's actually still gave that little Kentucky hug on there. Are you getting that, or am I just getting that?
So at first I was like, you're crazy. The second I was like, hold on. I don't get it up front.
Yeah.
But on the back of the palate, that spice comes out, and you kind of mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
So up front it's corn. Sweetness.
Oh.
Like,
yeah.
and I said it didn't smell young. It tastes a little, I don't want to say young. It tastes corn grain forward. I'll say that.
There is a graininess to it, definitely.
But there is some spice on the back end.
Yeah.
And it's... I need a second sip before I can judge that. That's...
Should we go in for a second drink?
I mean, if you... Let's do it.
Cheers,
Let's
everybody.
Cheers.
I'm going to let him go first this time because I went first last time. What are you getting?
Still the corn sweetness forward.
Yeah.
It's sweet up front. Mid palate is like a... I want to give it like a I don't want to say grassy like a rye or anything like that. It's like
you don't get a buttered popcorn on that?
There's something weird mid palate, and maybe that's what I'm getting.
Yeah.
It's like you said buttered popcorn.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I'm getting. There's something weird mid palate that I'm so not used to, but you're getting buttered popcorn.
Yeah.
Let me think on that. Let me think on that a bit.
Hey, try it again. Try it. We have enough. We have a whole bottle here, so.
I will say it's different than any other mid palate that I've had.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I said sweet corn up front, mid palate. There, maybe buttered popcorn. I from my perspective, I'm not specifically getting that, but I can see why you're getting that.
Yeah. Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying.
Hey, first time trying it.
First time, yeah.
And I'm trying it for a couple of times. I've had it, but this is an honest review of somebody who's tasted it first time and a couple of times after for me. So
I'll be honest if you want me to be honest.
Yeah, be honest.
This is not one of the best things I've ever tried. And I'm very disappointed because the price of this is one of the highest I've ever tried. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, where do I place this? This is super corn, super sweet. To me, it tastes young. I say young, that's just based on my experience.
Yeah.
The finish is mediocre.
Yeah, I get that.
I really want this to be good, y'all. When he put out this bottle, I was like, oh my god, he's sharing something incredible with me. So don't think I went into this being negative. He put out this bottle.
And don't let the
box.
packaging, don't let the packaging fool you.
It fooled me. I was like, heck yes, I'm down. Dare I say I'm let down? I don't know. And I don't know your perspective on this. You haven't shared with me your perspective other than what you just said right now.
Yeah, I wanted to know what you thought about it first.
I'm a bit let down. And it's not bad. It's not a bad whiskey.
Yeah.
Is it better than any... What do I even put the price point? I'm like, oh, shoot. I don't even know.
Well, see, that's the thing is when you talk about some of these whiskeys that are like uber priced, you really can't put a price point because some weirdo bought it, and not at that price, but at MSRP or below, and not too much below, because it is what it is. We got to figure out whether or not it's worth the price. Of course not.
No.
Of course not.
I'll guarantee you that it's not worth the price.
It is not worth the price.
And this is blind first reaction to this. Never tried this before. It's decent. I would pay $50 to $60.
Now, you said you brought up Woodford Reserve earlier. Double oaked.
Yes.
How would you fare it against something like that?
Would
you say it's better, or would you say it's
better?
Better?
Yeah. It's a little more balanced. It's a little more double oaked. Is something that I do appreciate some picks of it, but a lot of them are over oaked. They're tannic. You've had some over oaked whiskey earlier tonight.
Oh man, yeah.
So I think this is more balanced. So Woodford double oak I paid around $55, $60-ish for.
Yeah. I
think this is better. So 70, 80? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Woodford Reserve does not hide the fact that this is their standard whiskey put in here, but finished in cognac cask. Mm-hmm. So they're not trying to disguise anything. They're not trying to deceive anybody into thinking that this is something different than what it is. It mm-hmm. is a standard whiskey finished in cognac casks, mm-hmm. XO cognac casks. So kudos on them for putting that out there and letting everybody know what it is before they buy it. Mm-hmm. Now, us as reviewers, us as people who are tasting it, him for the first time, me for the second or third, fourth, fifth time, it's a little bit different, but we do appreciate a good whiskey. Now, would you call this something that you can sip, relax to? Would you call this, because you have those different reviews where you talk to you about your top 5, and then you had your the special occasion. Would you call this a special occasion type whiskey?
I'll be honest, no.
So and I'm in that same boat. I'm in that no department, and not to discredit or miss anything that Woodford Reserve is trying to put out there, but at the same time, they admit it, because we have different whiskeys that do have a cognac finish, maybe not as long, but we do have others that are finished in cognac casks that we could find with a standard type whiskey. And this is one of the ones that, I appreciate it. And I understand that it's expensive to make this glass, because coming from France, French glass, all that other. But at the same time, anything I put in here is still going to be labeled Woodford Reserve.
Well, and going into it, like I had such a high expectation. I didn't realize that it was just the standard Woodford finishing. Yeah. Again, I went into this blind. I knew this was a fancy Woodford Reserve. I saw the price. I'm like, yes, I'd like to try this. But it, like you said, it doesn't even equate to like a special occasion pour.
Yeah,
it's tough. No, are we saying it's bad whiskey? No, we're not saying it's bad whiskey.
No,
it's good whiskey.
I like it.
But the price.
It is
it
not.
Blows my mind.
MSRP is a little bit on the high side, and that's you.
That's you. Me.
That's
y'all really high. Y'all really high.
That's an understatement, and but it is.
If you've already bought the bottle, and you have it, it is good whiskey. We're not saying it's bad whiskey.
Yeah.
Treasure it, share it with friends. Let them know how expensive it was first. Let them know it's a really expensive bottle. But as whiskey enthusiasts, and we don't want to lie to y'all. We are whiskey enthusiasts. I mean, you see his collection behind him. We've had several incredible whiskeys tonight, so we're not trying to be like, oh, we're newbies. Like, we're trying to get this. We know whiskey.
Yeah.
This is decent whiskey. It's not bad whiskey.
Yeah.
But just like, there are better things you can get for your money.
Yeah.
If you can see behind me.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess what we're ultimately trying to explain to you, if you have the bottle, don't feel bad about buying it, because you know what? When somebody says, "Oh, I wouldn't pay that much for a bottle," okay, then that's good. Don't pay that much for a bottle. This is not your wheelhouse, or this is not what you want. Whatever the case is, don't do it, because there is better stuff out there. Now, can you compare it? You wouldn't know unless you bought the bottle or you have it with you to compare against other drinks. And that's kind of, as reviewers, sometimes we get stuck at trying to find certain bottles that we have to review against so that we can let you know what we have in front of us, what we're tasting, how we compares to other drinks. So, don't hold it against us sometimes when we have to get some of these bottles that maybe are kind of out there. It's not because we want to buy these bottles. It's because we want to share with you what we think of it and how we compare it to other things that we've had. And you already got a perspective on, like, hey, is this a bottle worth? No, definitely not. Not worth that MSRP point. But at the same time,
But I was going to say, I want to give a little bit additional perspective.
yeah.
If someone in my life has this bottle and I know what it is, and they are gracious to give me a pour, and I am not a whiskey drinker. I am just someone that's like casually like, oh, I like whiskey-ish. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they give me a pour of this, I would be so appreciative. This is, it's smooth.
Yeah.
It's smooth.
Hey.
It's smooth.
Yeah.
It is a really solid whiskey. So if you're introducing it to someone that may not know whiskey and they're
It's
newbie,
a nice pour.
It's a great entry pour to it. Like, we're not saying that it's bad. But as more advanced whiskey drinkers, we've had a lot of things in our lives.
Yeah.
We wouldn't gravitate towards the bottle.
No. And I know some people are going to look at this video and think about, like, oh, well, you got this bottle in front of you and, oh, you're trying to be it ain't about that. It's about, information. It's about trying to get, you to understand that just because there's something like this out there doesn't mean you have to get this bottle, because there's always something alternative to it. There's always something alternative to it. It's just what you like. So drink what you like, and it is what it is. I mean, you drink what you like, and don't be mad about what you have in your glass, because ultimately that's all that matters. You like the flavor, you like the profile. You don't have to spend crazy amount of money on something that's that you can find in a $40 bottle or
and
bottle.
counter argument, if you have this and you love it, great.
Great.
Like we both, Joe and I are both like, hey, if you like the whiskey, drink it, and if you want to share it with those that matter to you. So if you paid a lot for this bottle and you really enjoyed it and you want to share it with a friend, more power to you. I'm very appreciative of Joe to share this with me. So I just want y'all to know, like, whatever perspective you're coming from this, it's a good whiskey. It's a good whiskey. Not my price.
Yeah.
I don't want to say not my profile. It's good. It's good, but it's like knowing what the value is. It's just not my thing. But it's a good pour, and I'm happy with this. And thank you, Joe, again for sharing this with me.
Hey, cheers, brother.
Hey, cheers.
Cheers. Cheers, everybody out there. Thank you. Subscribe to Bourbon Bytes. Make sure that you hit the like button. Put a comment if you've had this. For one, if you enjoy it, and hey, let us know what you think about it.
Absolutely, yeah.
And,
I'm curious to hear what your tasting notes are on like why you like it. I'm very, very curious to hear that.
Yeah.
So,
but thank you all for tuning in. Love you all, and we're gonna go ahead and end this video. Appreciate you all. Thank you. Have a good day, good night, good morning, whatever time you're watching this. Love you all. Thank you.
cheers.